It is time right now for a bigger picture with Dr. Dan from Sioux Falls Hypnosis. Hello, Dr. Dan.
Hello again.
It's always a pleasure to have you in here. We're sneaking right up here on the end of April. I can't believe time is just flying by.
Yeah.
And we talked last week about different personas and different sides of ourselves. Today we're going to talk about social media, but we should focus maybe a little more on the one that's in the news a lot lately has been TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And TikTok is out to get us, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The Chinese are systematically not only spying on us, but just turning us into, I don't know, apparently we got to get a picture of Mao and put stuff up on the walls. And,
Is that why I've been doing that?
I guess, yeah. They would suggest that, and TikTok's in the news, but it is social media as a whole, really right now. And don't get me wrong, there are problems associated with social media use and things like that. Yeah. But the thing that really makes me giggle is this idea that we're somehow being brainwashed or manipulated by TikTok or other social media. And I find that funny as someone who is a hypnotist and has spent his life trying to get people to change things that, that I deal with what we would call the unconscious.
Yeah.
And it ain't that easy.
Yeah.
If this whole thing was that easy, I always joke with people, if TikTok could do what people think it's doing, I'd be a much happier guy. And so would the people that come and see me. It's just simply, it doesn't work like that. It's not that easy.
But we're noticing changes because there's something else happening. Let's talk about what that is.
And the thing that's actually, TikTok, social media, whatever it is that you think might be brainwashing you or your kids or inserting bad ideas into your kid, whatever it is, my response to that is to actually... brainwash is much more complicated than you think.
Yeah.
The amount of time and pressure and leverage you have to have is just simply not available in virtually any setting. So the problem isn't coming from outside of us, it's inside of us.
Yeah.
All TikTok can do, all any social media can do, is basically hone in on what's already in you and tell you that's okay.
Okay.
You're not getting anything new from the outside. And this is something that's very important. When you're thinking about
your current beliefs.
It's validating what's already in you. Your own ideas, your own beliefs, your own values, your own feelings. All it can do, all social media can really do, is take a look at what's inside you. And they're really good at that.
Yeah.
They're really good at kind of honing in on algorithms and the systematic use over time. They're really good at kind of honing in on what's actually in you.
Yeah.
And then they simply look at you and say, hey, man, that's okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we do some more of this?
I'm going to feed you more of this stuff.
And it's okay that you feel that way.
Yeah.
And other people think like this.
Yeah.
And the only thing you're being persuaded of, the only thing you're being manipulated into is the fact that, oh, you're really smart. Yeah. You're really onto something there.
Yeah.
You're right, I think. And that's, and we so badly want to believe that these things are coming from outside us and they're being fed to us against our will.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that's simply not the case, and it's virtually impossible to do in a normal everyday life setting.
And
so you don't blame TikTok, don't blame social media. All they're doing is honing in on what's actually in you already. It's us. I have met the problem, and it is us.
Yeah.
It is not TikTok. It is not social media. I mean, again, there are problems associated with that, but not this one.
And it's user-generated content, so it's really content from people like you. And then they do a really good job of, with the algorithm, feeding you the stuff that you're interested in or that they think that you'd be interested in. And then once you click that, it's like they feed you more of that. And there's this, it almost feels like nonstop supply where you could spend a whole day.
They get really closer to what you actually think and what you actually feel. Really, even though you may not be aware of it or not even willing to own it, they will figure it out. But again, the problem didn't come from them.
Yeah.
All they did was sort out. What I always tell people is whatever you think about TikTok, whatever you think about social media, all they're doing is telling you who you really are.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way to look at it. Don't go blaming them.
Yeah.
All they're doing is putting a mirror up to who and what you really are.
Yeah.
And that's how we need to see it and stop, saying, oh, we need to take TikTok off our phones. I mean, whatever you think about that, that's cool. But the problem isn't them.
Yeah, because there's other things that would replace it anyway.
Right.
So if it's not that, because think about this, there's Instagram has the same thing, Facebook has the same thing. I think Twitter has got something similar.
It's all the same. It's all
so
the
they've
same.
got a lot of the same type of things, and
they are a mirror is all they are.
I remember one time I was at a church service where they were talking about this person was asking their grandfather about, I feel like I've got two different wolves inside of me, and this evil wolf, and I've got this good wolf, and I just don't know, which wolf is going to win. And the grandfather said, well, whichever one you feed.
Right.
And that's what we're doing with social media is we're feeding a wolf. Is that the path you want to go down? And I'll tell you something that I did. This is a few years ago, and I should probably do it again because it's been just. It seems like social media has taken over a lot more time from me. But one of the things I had done a few years ago is I said, I'm going to take Facebook off my phone. That app is not going to appear on my phone. And what I put there in place of it was the Bible app. And I thought, if I had time, because you just, it's like muscle memory. You hit that button.
Yep.
And I would hit the button and it would open up. And I was like, hey, if I had time for Facebook, I have time for Faith Book. I'm going to take some time. I can read something out of Proverbs. If I had 2 minutes to kill on Facebook, I'm going to spend 2 minutes doing this. It was amazing what a difference that made. And then I've got all the stuff back on my phone again. So,
and we could talk about how to manage that because, again, there are a lot of problems associated with social media use. I'm not saying that they're all good or whatever.
No, I don't think anyone thinks you're saying
I'm just saying that you're not being manipulated or brainwashed.
Yeah.
You're not. Someone's holding a mirror up to you and they're getting progressively closer to you.
And I think what's happening in that is you have politicians trying to explain things they don't understand. So they're saying things that are not quite accurate. I think when it comes right down to it, most people, if they really understood all of the information, I think they would agree completely with what you're saying.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you get to be honest with yourself and able to do it. As long as you blame, it's the only way you're able to do anything. Because as long as you feel the responsibility lies outside you, there's nothing you can do to change this.
If somebody listening would like to change something within themselves, again, I'm with Dr. Dan from Sioux Falls Hypnosis, and you help people lose weight, you help people quit smoking, you help them change behaviors of many
deal with
different
stress,
things. Yeah, stress. If
feel
somebody
better,
listening
manage their mood, become more confident.
I would like help with these things. How do I get a hold of you?
You can find us on the internet at SiouxFallsHypnosis.com, or you can call us directly at 605-702-6691.
Very nice. You can find him also on all of the different social medias. So if you are on social media.
Right, I know. And there is a certain hypocrisy in that. But I'm trying to be helpful. I'm working for the forces of light.
But that's the thing. You're doing good in that. So you're feeding the good wolf. That's what
I'm
you're
trying
doing.
to.
Again, you can also catch this as a podcast. So if you're hearing this on the radio and maybe you just caught the tail end and you're like, I don't know what the heck they're talking about, you can find the entire program at SiouxFallsPodcast.com. And again, you can connect with Dr. Dan directly at SiouxFallsHypnosis.com.